Let's talk about all the games happened Thursday, October 24th. We have 4 games, and a lot of teams is their first game of the season, so there's some things to talk about. The first game is the Boston Celtics beat the Wizards. Feel like Celtics might do this a lot this year. They're really good, especially the threes are falling. They shot 37%, but if they get like they shoot 50, if they shoot 50 of them and they can shoot high 30s, um, that's really good. And if any of the Celtics players have a really good first month, I would look to sell high on them because what happens when Porzingis comes back? Yeah, I feel like their usage, nobody's really gonna eat that. Gonna take majority because they have too many good players. They really spread the ball, right? Jason Tatum's assist numbers is something I'll be watching. Another decent game from him, but 4 for 7 from the free throw line is weird. But if he had a couple of like 40-point games early season, 100% try to sell him. Derrick White had an amazing first game. He still hit 4 threes here, just amazing shooting. Another guy that I would really try to sell high if he does well. The Celtics again, just too many guys. I don't know how sustainable if go on a crazy run. Jalen Brown also put a good line, 27 points with 4 steals. He's the Finals MVP, Jalen Brown. Drew Holiday, really bad game. Drew is gonna do this a lot, to be honest. If he doesn't bring the defensive stats, he doesn't really do too much because Celtics, they don't need him to score. Um, yeah, for the Wizards, a lot of interesting things happening. The first thing is obviously Jordan Poole, amazing game here, 26 points, 6 threes. I mean, a lot of positives. He had 4 steals and a block. One thing that stood out to me last year is he averaged 1.1 steal last year. Not saying that this could be the trend this year, but he got 4 steals here. So maybe he somehow is getting more defensive stats. That's obviously going to help his fantasy value a lot. He did hit 6 threes. The minutes is also pretty encouraging, 33 minutes. Last year he was getting like 27, 28. And given that this game is a blowout, he might have got more minutes, maybe 37, 36 minutes. Played a few extra minutes. But Poole is a guy that I don't know if we can trust. If he has a first good month, I would also try to trade him. Just because the situation Wizards is also in. They're not really competing for anything. Rest concerns and stuff like that. So these players, always try to sell high. And Alex Sarr, the rookie, #2 pick, because he's a center and he can get blocks. I usually hold big man rookie. Like if you have to choose between a rookie point guard who's not doing well versus a rookie big man, they're both getting minutes. You usually go with rookie big man because the block shots are so much more valuable in category leagues. Points league is a different story. So for example, Carrington played 26 minutes, kind of in a similar situation, right? Didn't really do anything other than 2 blocks. You probably want to drop him over Alex Sarr. Alex Sarr, we don't know how good he is, but 1 for 7, But it's just one game, and they did play a really good team. Kyle Kuzma, 6 for 16, that's what he does, 12 points. But it will be interesting to see the usage for Kyle Kuzma. His usage was insane last year. Averaged like 23 points, really good rebound. I don't know. If Poole's usage go up this year, might eat into his usage just a little bit. And Bilo played 30 minutes. He's also another guy that I think in fantasy we know what he can do. Can get rebound, assists, steals, and blocks. And if you get 30 plus minutes, I think he's about someone we can hold. And guys like Giannis Valanciunas, if you drafted him, you know what he gave you, points and field goal and some rebounds. If you really need those, you can hold him. He got 20 minutes here. But maybe we're gonna have a point where he doesn't even get 20, right? If Alex Sarr is getting 30 minutes, then Valanciunas may not. So that's the issue. So if he plays well, I also try to trade him. The next one is the Spurs lost to the Dallas Mavericks. A lot of high hopes for Victor Wembanyama, but this is a blowout, so he only played 28 minutes. Only 1 block here, 9 rebounds. If he struggled first month, 100% buy low. 100% buy low. If you can trade Jason Tatum plus somebody to get Victor Wembanyama, that would be a huge, huge win. I'm not worried about Wembanyama at all. Jeremy Sohan, 27 minutes. Interesting, he's starting getting a lot of minutes. He's a guy that we could stream, but definitely not a must roster. Same thing with Julian. This guy, wow, the line looked pretty good, but not somebody we want to roster. And we know the Spurs, they will have like random guys playing at the end of the season anyway. So any Spurs players, I would say, other than Wembanyama, if they have a good stretch, try to sell them, right? Chris Paul for sure. Actually, although he only had 3 points, hit 1 3, 7 rebound, 8 assists, and a steal. I'll take it. That's pretty good, to be honest. Chris Paul. Also try to sell high on Chris Paul too, 100%. The rest of those guys, Spurs not really worth mentioning, but Victor Wembanyama is really the only guy I trust. Everybody else, if he play well, try to sell them. Dallas, but for sure, a lot of guys could be rostered at the moment. For Dallas, blowout, but Luka still played 36 minutes. A good line, but efficiency wise, a little bit concerning. I guess Spurs are a good defensive team. Kyrie also shot 6 for 17, but it doesn't matter. I think they still blow them out. Klay Thompson, try to sell high for him for sure. This is a really, really good game. 22 points and 6 threes. Added 3 steals as well and 7 rebounds and good efficiency. But we know Klay, he's really hot and cold. So yeah, I'll try to sell him. But one good thing about this is, Dallas, they're going to be competitive. So, they're going to play all their guys, toward the very end of the regular season. Daniel Gafford had 18 minutes. I think that Gafford and Lively, they both, if you're looking for blocks and rebound, they could be rostered. Daniel Gafford is starting, but played just 18. Did have 5 fouls. But, we know Gafford gets way more blocks, and Lively probably have better field goal and rebounds. But they're very, very similar. The Mavericks are using them. But I probably prefer Gafford over Lively in fantasy just because the block upside. Moving on to the next one. This one does not look good for Denver. They lost to OKC at home, 102-87. I don't think it was that close. And Chet Holmgren, I would try to sell high on him too if he has very beginning, because Isaiah Hartenstein is going to come back and he's going to play at the center. And if Chet Holmgren is a power forward, I think he gets less opportunities to block shots as well getting rebounds. But this is obviously amazing. Miss out his threes too. If he hit a couple of threes, this is a scary line with 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and blocks. Just did everything, And then Shea, just super good. Had 2 steals and 3 blocks, 28 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds. Shea is super, super consistent. This game efficiency-wise not so good, but yeah, he drafting Shea for sure into top. If you draft him in the 4th or 5th, you cannot go wrong with Shea. Doesn't hurt you anywhere, and because how good OKC is and how competitive Western Conference is, they're gonna play their guys till the end. Jalen Williams struggled a little bit, but I'm not worried about him. Lou Dort, and they got a lot of guys. Alec Caruso is a guy that's obviously getting drafted in a lot of leagues. Plays just 19 minutes. It's a little bit concerning. This is the part that Alex Caruso is a guy that I don't think you can play him 35 minutes because as a defender, he spent a lot of energy. So it's probably optimally to play him in the maybe high 20s or 25 minutes. And given how many other guards they have, right? I know Cason Wallace can really play basketball. He can really shoot. Isaiah Joe is really good. Edward Wiggins. They got a lot of guys. So I don't know. Alex Caruso, first of all, is going to get a lot of minutes. So he's a guy that really, really just give you steals on this team. If you need that, you can have him. And his ranking probably going to look good because there's really high steals and low turnovers. But just one game. I wouldn't drop him yet, but it's not looking good. For the Nuggets, it's not looking good for them. Jokic is at his old shenanigans again. Took 13 shots. Had 13 assists, which is good. 2 steals and a block, but it's just one game. Obviously, not overreacting. But Jokic, this is the bad game for him. Still put up a triple double with 2 steals and a block. Michael Porter Jr. shot the ball really poorly, 15 points. And Jamal Murray, I would buy low on him. I think he is really trying to prove himself. So I think he probably want to go hard in the regular season, to be honest, given how bad he played versus Timberwolves that series, or just playoffs in general. Even with the Lakers, he had a couple game winners, but shooting percentage wise, he's got a chip on his shoulder now. Aaron Gordon, he's a guy that you could have, but don't really have that much upside. And Christian Braun, I'm not a big fan of him because in fantasy he doesn't get that many defensive stats, but he got 2 and 2 here. If you already have him, you could keep rostering him. And Russell Westbrook played 20 minutes. Good line. 2 for 10 from the field, 1 for 4 from the free throw line. Yeah, if you drafted Russell Westbrook, you know what. But 5 assists, 5 rebounds, a steal, and 2 blocks. You take it. But his role on this team is going to be, yeah, they got to figure out maybe how to use him. He also took 6 threes. I didn't really watch the game, but that's second highest on the team. The defense for sure is just letting him take it. The fact that he played 21 minutes, took 6 threes, maybe not ideal. Yeah. Last game of the night is the Minnesota Timberwolves. They already also played 2 games already. Beat the Kings. Anthony Edwards, to start off this season, he's being super aggressive. He took so many shots. I don't know if it's a good idea. Maybe share the wealth a little bit. Julius Randle absolutely went off. 33 points, 5 threes. I'll try to sell high on him. I think he's just going to be super inconsistent on this team, being the second guy, or who knows, Naz Reid, also pretty high usage too. 26 minutes for Naz Reid. I also try to sell high on Naz Reid. These guys are just going to be inconsistent, I think, throughout the year. So every time they have like a good stretch, try to sell them. And Dante DiVincenzo, another guy, played 26 minutes. It's going to be kind of similar for Caruso. I mean, Dante obviously hit more threes, but he just gets steals and threes. Gets 26 minutes. Again, you could roster him, but if he also goes off, I also try to sell him. Mike Conley, another game, played just below 30 minutes. That's a bit concerning. Maybe a droppable guy, but unless there's a better guy on the waiver wire, I would just hold him to see what happens in the next couple of days, next couple of games. Jaden McDaniels is horrible again. He's a really good defender in real life, but just doesn't get defensive stats. So I don't think he's fantasy relevant, only a streamer. And Rudy only took 2 shots. 11 rebounds, also a bad game from Rudy. For the Kings, okay, a lot of interesting things. DeMar DeRozan and Keegan Murray played 43 minutes. That's what's, to me, that right off the gate, okay, DeMar DeRozan is going to have a good season here. I'm not too worried. Just based on the first game, it's like they gave him a lot of minutes, pumping a lot of minutes. Keegan Murray, I don't know if the minutes is going to stick. Maybe it does. 43 minutes is crazy, though. But high minutes, that's really good. De'Aaron Fox played just 15 points. 11 assists is really good. We'll see. Maybe his points average dip a little bit because, you have DeRozan now. And Keegan Murray maybe can take a next step this year. Sabonis, also not the best gameplay. Just 8 rebounds and 1 assist. That is actually super concerning. Just 1 assist here. And Malik Monk, just a streamer. That's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.